live, but you're mine. Okay. I'ma let you live, no shame, no shame, no game, no game. I wanna fall in love, vulnerable in love. Do you want classy? Do you want nasty, babe? I'll give you options. I'll be a perfect day. I'm yours till the night fades. Whoa, don't let it fade. No shame and no game. I wanna fall vulnerable. Giggling softly. Could you be laughing at me, or we just giddy? Butterflies flapping in me. Don't stop what you're doing. Yeah. What you doing to me?
Hello, this is Lawrence D. Adams. This is LDA After Dark. Tonight we're talking about creating the right relationship. That's right, we're talking about creating the right relationship. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell someone else about more LDA After Dark. Tonight we're going to be talking about creating
Feels like the first time.
the relationship. You have to create the
Throw
right.
away all my
We're going to talk about that tonight. Get whatever you need to do as the clock goes on, as we get everything rolling tonight. Make sure you're ready for what we're going to talk about. Everybody else know that we are live right now. We're talking about creating the right inside of Let's fall in and out. And there's the right tension. Imagine. There to
Or do you like sweet caramel honey dipped? I'm yours till the beat flips.
park and
Don't let it slip.
make sure you're able to
Give up my power. Yes, afraid to lose each
that tonight.
other. Counting the hours till I see you again. Could you be life, lover, and best friend? Waiting for text back. Wondering where you at. Or who could you be
Walking
with? No, I'm not possessed.
conversation
But
in the
you're
context of what we're
mine.
talking about, then you will be able
I'ma let you live,
to share
no
what are your
shame,
thoughts on creating the right
no game. I wanna fall in love,
right.
vulnerable in love.
Woo, what a day. So this is Lawrence D. Adams, and today we were talking about creating the right amount of tension inside of a relationship. In order for you to have a successful relationship, you have to be able to create the right amount of tension in a relationship. Why certain relationships go stale and they go down the drain is because the tension inside of the relationship is not there anymore. The excitement is going out the window. The honeymoon stage is gone, and the relationship has now become sour. And so, what happened because we are people of excitement and we love thrills and things like that. We look to go and try to create that tension with someone else. So we have to learn how to create the right amount of tension with the person that we're with. So if I was to give any example how to do that, it would be that of a guitar. Most people, when they play the guitar, they can tell when it's out of tune or its strings need to be tightened, they need to be loosened. Same thing goes inside of a relationship. Sometimes the strings inside the relationship and even in the bedroom needs to be tightened up to create the right amount of tension inside of the relationship. Most people are not aware that the tension inside of the relationship is so vitally important because you able it keeps you able to make music the correct way. You can hear a song or you hear something and it's completely flat. Why? Because there's not enough tension. And what happens is if you're not careful, you end up looking for that tension that you had once with the person that you was with outside of you. So we're going to talk about creating the right amount of tension in the bedroom, outside of the bedroom, and everywhere that you go. Most people, whether they want to admit it or not, are looking for that just amount of tension to make them feel excited inside. So you want to create that a right amount of tension around you and the person that you're with. And many times the man or the woman begins to what? Forget how to create that tension with each other. Or they forget how it was when they first met, when they couldn't wait to see each other. They couldn't wait to kiss. They couldn't wait to be around each other. They couldn't wait to be alone because they had that good tension about them, around them. Most people go through life and they go through everything else, and that tension is gone out of their lives. And it's amazing because we wonder why certain relationships fall to the ground. It's because you didn't know how to create that ebb and flow inside of a relationship. I mean, I can got stories for days about creating the right tension. Sometimes you have to build up the expectation between you and your lover or the person that you with. And sometimes you got to withhold the right way. Let me say that again. Sometimes you have to withhold the right way to create that amount of tension so that you and I'm talking as far as a man to a woman, so that you and her can have that right amount of music between each other. And what happens is when you have that right amount of tension between each other, it's almost like you're getting caught up in each other's world and you cannot break away from it. So you have to create that right amount of attention around you and the person that you're with. Let me say this. Let me cut through the chase. You gotta create that right amount of tension in the bedroom. Let me say that again. You need to create that right amount of tension in the bedroom. And that goes for the men and that goes for the women. Because many times we don't do that. We do it at the beginning, but we don't do it in the middle and we don't do it at the end, at the whatever stage that we're in. We become comfortable in our relationship with that person that we forget to create that tension, that correct amount of tension. And I think a lot of people are afraid of it. But if you create the right amount of tension, when you release that tension, oh, the excitement that you have. Let me say that again. When you create that right amount of tension between you and the person that you're with, and then when you release it, the excitement that's there. That is the art of seduction. When you know how to create tension with who you're with and who you're dealing with. And most people don't know how to do that. Or they're not, I'll say they know how to do it, but they're not intentional when they're doing it. And I'm saying that for men and women. Women, it's just something when you know how to create that tension around that man, where now he's thinking about you. He wants you, but you don't give in. And the same thing for a man. You create that energy around her, but you want her and you pull back and then you pull towards her, then you pull back and then you pull towards her, and it causes this tension where you want to release that tension between each other, between the two of you. What happens is you have to learn how to create that tension. You want to be like a fine-tuned guitar or fine-tuned piano where you create that tension not only in the bedroom, outside of the bedroom. People, people who enjoy a good, healthy love life, relationship life, are those who know how to create that tension. I read a post today, and the lady posted, she had an attitude. And the guy said, "Hey, I got you, your attitude adjustment." So she had this attitude that she was going to be upset and she was stumping around the house and that she didn't want to be bothered, leave me alone. But what she really needed was an attitude adjustment because of the tension that she had over here. He had to pull her back into place to release that tension inside of her. And a lot of times, what's going on with a lot of women, you got a lot of tension inside of you, and you don't have the right man to release that tension. And it doesn't always have to be sex, but I don't know how to pull you back into your femininity. And the same thing goes for men. You got all this tension inside of you, and you need that woman who can just calm you down, cause you to be back to tame the beast that's inside of you. You've been killing, slaying dragons and killing bears and killing lions. And then you don't have that place where you can release that tension healthy inside of the relationship. You end up going to someone else or paying for that tension to be released. So we got to know how to create it, but we also got to learn how to release that tension around us and find the right people to release it for us. And I'm talking about in the confines of a relationship, in a marriage, but I'm talking about that tension has to be there. That healthy tension between a man and a woman. The woman is in her femininity, and you are in your masculinity, and your polar opposites are moving and coming together. The reason why you ebbing and you're flowing, you ebbing and then you're flowing, because you know why? Because you created the right amount of tension. Why some relationships go dead in the bedroom or go dead in a relationship, or the relationship goes dead, is because we have neutralized the tension with each other, or we're around each other all the time, and we begin to absorb each other's energy, and we begin to neutralize each other, and there's no attraction there. So you got to learn how to create that tension. One of the things you can do, especially with those in a relationship, those pursuing a relationship, is knowing how to flirt. How to, I said this before, and I'm building on what I'm saying. Create that tension, that one. And what happens is sometimes we do not build enough tension between you and your lover. And what happens is it doesn't, when it's time to release, it is not the fulfillment that they need. The only reason why some people go out and look for others because they're looking for something new, but they're looking for a place where they can find that tension and where they can find that place where they can release. If this is making sense to you, I need you to let me know in the chat room that you guys are here. I want you to really get this about the tension that you need to create, how you need to release it, and then you need to build it back up again. This is the one of the main things on how to make the creative ways of how to make a relationship grow, how to make your bedroom exciting. And you know how to create that tension where you create it so well that the person wants you, but they can't. And it drives you crazy because you at night thinking about it. You're looking at their picture. You're dreaming about it. You wake up in the morning, you're looking at your phone, and that tension is constantly building up in you. It's like a rubber band that's getting tighter and tighter around you. And you say, man, this tension is heavy. I got to see this person. I got to be around them because you want to release that tension that you have around, that you have with this person. Sometimes we create the wrong tension, and that's why people get into the thing of get into an argument or get into an argument and then getting doing makeup, or this as the song goes, makeup to break up. That's all we do because you're looking for that high so that you can release it. Because you don't realize you have the creative ability to create the tension and to release the tension. And so what you do is you may start an argument. Some women, to get the men to get back into his masculinity, they'll poke at the bear. They'll poke at him. You so that he can rise up and say, hey, calm down. Here we go. You should be able to hear me now. So what the woman does, she has to create that tension inside of that man to say, hey, let me get you. You got to understand, as much as women say they're at this place, they want they want to poke that bear of that man so that he can say, hey, let me put you in your place. That's what I was saying about the attitude. Sometimes a woman would get that attitude. What's going on, Gina? Thank you, Gina, for that. Thank you, Yahoo. Appreciate that. So I want you to really get this. Creating that tension between you and your lover. Sometimes you're too much around them. You need to back up around them. Autos, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know what happened to it. I think the battery went dead in my lapel mic. But I want you to give this about tension. Sometimes men don't read the signals that women are giving, that she got built up tension inside of her and she wants to release it. She wants to be like, wait, hey. So what she'll do is she may come with an attitude. She may come sometimes with running at the mouth. I'm not condoning none of this. I'm just telling you what happens. And what happens is she wants to tell you, she wants you to stand up like, hey, chill, I got this. Because there's built up tension inside of her. The thing that you got to do as men and as women is learn how to create that positive tension between you and the person that you're with. I give many clues before. You do it with the mind. You build that energy inside of her or inside of him to the point where they are drooling at the mouth about you. They're waking up in the middle of the night dreaming about you because you created that tension with around you. Most people do it unconsciously and then forget when they get the person. Most people do it unconsciously at the beginning of the relationship or whatever they're doing and then forget about it once they get the person. I'm going to say it again. Most people forget, do it unconsciously at the beginning and forget once they get into a relationship how to create that positive tension between you and the person that you're with. Is nothing magic, is nothing more magical than to see that tension between two lovers who can't resist each other, who are who just glaring at each other in their eyes, who are wanting to hold hands, but they can't hold hands, and they can't wait to be alone because the tension between them is so intense, it's heavy. Other people can feel it because the tension around them is so magical. This is how you create positive, the right tension around the person that you want to be with or the person that you're with. It's amazing. I was doing it unconsciously and didn't even know it. I didn't realize I was doing it, and then I realized that there was this tension between me and this young lady, and I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, where's this tension coming from? Why am I thinking about her? And I realized the reason why is because I inadvertently created it, and now we got this strange kind of energy between us. And I'm looking at her, and she looking at me. I'm like, okay, where does this come from? It's because I created it, or she created it. And what happens is if you create enough tension between you and the person that you with, what's going to happen is you're going to look to release it. I'm telling you that it is something to behold. When you release the tension, I don't care. It is not so much the sexual act, it is the tension that is released between you and the woman. It is the expectation of what may happen if you guys get together. This is grown folks conversation. If you didn't know, this is LDA After Dark. This is grown folk conversation. So if you want to chime in, you want to come up, I'm gonna put the link up here. You can come up, but keep it clean and keep it classy. I got to hit the wrong thing. Keep it clean and keep it classy. We're, we ain't covering it. If you don't, I got to know who you are. You come here talking crazy, we're gonna let you go out. We're gonna boot you out of here. Let me paste this right here. But if you want to come up, you have something to say about what we were talking about creating tension and creating healthy tension between you and someone that you're with is magical. It is the art. It is the art of seduction takes place. I remember years ago. It came down to it where we were just. I was at a disagreement with someone. We were just at odds. We was going at it, and I went in one room. She went into another room, and it was a bunch of tension between in the room. You can cut it. You can cut it with a knife. That's how much tension it was between us. And I said, man, I gotta fix this. Something we gotta come back together. So finally, I got up about 1 o'clock in the morning. We were disagreeing about 8 o'clock, and about 1 o'clock in the morning, I got myself together. She was already in bed, and I went over to her. I said, hey, and I grabbed her and I held her. And slowly the tension that was between us began to melt away. And it was like she was almost like she was eating her favorite dish. She began to almost devour me because she wanted that masculine, and she wanted and I wanted her femininity, and we got lost in the moment of each other that we forgot what time was because we were in the midst of releasing that negative tension that was between us. And how do we get here? I love you. I miss you. I want to hold you. What can I do to please you? What can you do to please me? It was that level of tension that was there that took us deeper into places in intimacy that we never got anything else. Now, I am not condoning arguing to get this tension started. I'm not condoning getting into a fight. I'm not condoning make up to break up. What I'm saying is you got to recognize the energy that was built up. I was looking to release it. She was looking to release that energy. We were right there. And when we got to the point, let me stop. Y'all may be too much. If you listening, this too much for you. Let me know. This grown folks conversation. This ain't LDA Morning class. This is grown folks conversation. That's why I did it later. I'm trying to bring it to 11 o'clock. This is grown folks conversation. If you're trying to say, well, how can you talk about this and talk about God? And how can you talk about this? If you're going to come here judging, you're going to have all these preconceived ideas. This ain't for you. This is a grown man talking about real situation. Not too much at all. We all grown here. We all ears. But it's amazing. Thank you, Gina. So it's amazing because once we got into the moment, I began to lose myself in her, and she began to lose herself in me, and we begin to this the kissing and the holding and just the caressing. I'm gonna keep saying I want to get you past the point of just intercourse, just sex, because I know that's what everybody want to come. Sex. It was more than just the sex. It was the releasing of the tension between her and I, where we were just on. We was in the moment. I looked up. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were there because we. And then when we finally woke up the next morning, she got up. She made my favorite drink that she used to make. Um, this coffee that she, and I really don't drink coffee, but she used to make this favorite coffee drink that I used to drink. And I think we had some fruit or something like that. I kid you not, we had the best conversation. We had the best this time laughing because we released that tension that was between us. Many times there's so much tension between inside of the relationship that it gets tied up inside of your body. It gets tied up inside of the woman's body. And because then you cannot come together like you should because you have not released it. Sometimes, oh, here we go. Let me go there. Sometimes you're going into a new relationship and you're still tied up with energy and tension from people that you were in a relationship before. I'm talking to someone that's listening. It might turn off and come back on. Sometimes you got so much tied up tension and energy from people that you were in a relationship before you got into this relationship that you cannot unwind yourself to enjoy the relationship that you have now. I'm talking to someone. I don't know who I'm talking to. And I repeat myself purposely because I want to get it to you. You have so much tied up relationship with this person did, what he did, what she did. So when you come and this person comes in your life, you can never connect with them because the tension that you have around relationships, intimacy, and coming together is tying you up. And all you're doing, you're like a pinball. We pull the lever back and we pop you through and you just bounce around and you never land anywhere because you got tied up energy and thoughts and things that happened in the past, tied up tension inside of you from people that you have dealt with. Have you released, as grown folks, as we're talking now, have you released the energy, the thoughts, the intentions of people that you have been with in the past? Are they still attached to you? Are you still thinking about them? Are you with someone new and while you still thinking about the old? Releasing the tension and the energy. I know some people would call this soul ties. Some people would call all that. I understand that, but I'm not here to talk about soul ties. I'm talking about what tension do you have tied up from where you used to be at? Or do you have this tension that's still tied up or what Tyrone did? Do you still have the tension of what Brenda did? Do you need to release that so that you can go and have a healthy ebb and flow relationship with the person that you're with now? I'm talking, I'm just not talking, I'm saying something that I experienced, something that I went through. See, most people can say talk this talk, but then haven't walked this walk. And what happens is you're not able to pull the rubber band that's inside of you to create that tension so that you can snap back to that new person. And this is the reason why, this is the reason why some women, and I'm saying some, but a lot of women loves the bad guy or the bad boy. It's because he knows how to create tension and uncertainty inside of her. He knows how to stir up her emotions. Catch what I'm saying, guys. I'm giving some serious LDA after dark tonight. He knows how to stir up her emotions to a point where she's wound up and she looks for him to come back and release those tensions that she has. And now he becomes addictive because he winds her up and then he releases her. He winds her up and then he releases her. So that's the reason why on the deeper level, a deeper psychological, spiritual level, why certain women love the bad boy. He's unpredictable. He's unpredictable. He causes your he takes your emotions and he just seemingly plays with your emotions. But you can't get away from him because ain't no other man ever wound you up like that or stirred your emotions. See, this is what men miss in relationships, miss with women. Men say women are just emotional, but they miss the fact on how to effectively stir her emotions up so that she can feel the kaleidoscope of feelings that she's missing because she's in the world that demands her to be masculine. I gotta drink water on that. So she's in the world that's demanding her to be masculine, and she has just this tension inside of her. While she's looking for this man who knows how to be a master of emotions because his emotions are in check. This is for someone. I know I'm talking to someone. That's why I'm closing my eyes. He knows how to stir her emotions up because he knows how to master his emotions. A man cannot effectively stir the woman's emotions if he doesn't know how to master his emotions. And so if you are being emotional, man, she she's being emotional, it's never going to be the right tension between you. That's why she likes it when you're in your masculinity. When you know how to just dip your finger and just stir the emotions inside of her up and make her feel things that no other man has made her feel. Let me say that again. And please understand this is beyond sex. I'm talking about make her feel things. So you got to understand, man, I'm seeing this clear as day. Women are looking, we're talking about creating that right tension. Women are looking like a blind person for their emotions to be tapped on, to be touched, to be felt. They want to feel the emotions because it fulfills them when they can feel emotions. She wants to feel her emotions. And what happens is a lot of times when there's no tension there, she cannot feel her emotions and then she can never have a connection to you. I'm giving too much away tonight. I'm giving too much away tonight. Let me say that again. The woman needs to feel her emotions. See, we are demonized emotions in the woman, and we are castrated women from being emotional because we cannot control them. And we'll say, why are you crying? Why are you doing this? She needs to feel her emotions. This is how she processes life. This is how she processes the world. That's why she likes the bad boy, because he knows how inadvertently or intentionally how to get her in her emotions in a maybe in a negative way, but maybe in a positive way, where that she can feel again. Most women are do not feel. They're tired of being the man. They're tired of being just sterile and being one way. She wants to run around with just a dress on, run through the flowers and feel how it feels. And let me get some wine over here. Maybe not drink no wine, or maybe I get some oranges. I just feel like this. She wants to feel the kaleidoscope of emotions that's trapped inside of her. But when you have a society who condemns her for being emotional because we want her to be masculine, she now suppresses the part of her that brings her life. So a lot of women don't have life inside of them, which we're still talking about tension, is because they are suppressing their emotional states. I am not talking about emotions out of control. I am talking about emotions expressed maturely. I'm talking about emotions expressed maturely, where they're expressed, I feel this way. When a woman says, I feel this way, I felt this way about him. He made me sick. I can't stand him. Oh, today I love him. Oh, I can't. I don't know why he wear them shoes. I hate those. She needs to feel her emotions. So that's that tension that's inside of her, as we have created women to be emotionless, and we have now inadvertently created men to be emotional. We're creating women to be emotionless, which is their natural state, is to be emotional, to feel things, to express things, or process things toward their emotions. But we're taught to suppress the women from doing that. Be quiet, don't say that. While we're told the men be emotional. And so what happens is we're we're causing the, the tension that needs to be there is not there because we're out of our nature. And when we're out of our nature, or when we're out of our nature, we're out of our purpose of why we are here. So there can be no effective tension between the two. So now, because the woman is blind and she's looking for the emotion, she falls for Tom, Dick, and Harry because she gives her the emotions that she wants, but it's not good for her. She falls for Tom, Dick, and Harry, and she gives her the emotions that she wants, but clearly it's not good for her. So she end up going into a cycle, and not going into a cycle of one man after another, because she is not tied to these men emotionally, because they have, because of her responsibility and their responsibility of not knowing what's really going on. If this is making sense to you, let me know in the chat room. I might be talking over your head. I might be talking right where you at. I might be talking below. I'm trying to keep it real even keel. If you picking up when I put it down, let me know in the chat room. This is all about creating the tension that you want. This is the reason why certain women go crazy over certain men, is because the emotions that she get, the charge that she get from his masculinity, the emotions that she gets to feel by thinking about this man. The problem is a lot of men do not know how to do that effectively without hurting the woman. Let me say that again. So a lot of men do not know how to create that tension effectively so that it does not hurt the women. This is the reason why, since I'm gonna go there. Y'all gonna go there. We go to the shadow world. This is LDA After Dark. This is the reason why certain women go into BDMS. Not so much because they want to be tied up and all that kind of. It's the tension that's there. Trust me, we not. That's conversation behind closed doors. You got to be ready for that. And I'm not talking about that. I'm not. This is why I don't understand why she would want to be tied up. This is the reason why I know I done lost people right on them. This is why the movie 50 Shades of Grey was so popular. It spoke to the woman's mind. You seen a woman who had tension going on, and then it was released, and secretly, and she had a kaleidoscope of emotions that were taking place inside of her, and you were able to see it expressed, but on the movie screen. This is the reason why that book and the movie 50 Shades of Grey was so popular. I know somebody want to demonize it. That's the devil. You shouldn't be doing all that. You gotta get past the devil, get past the whole BDMS, all that, and understand what was going on. It was the tension that he built inside of her at every level of what was taking place. And what happens is women were identifying with the woman on the screen that they seen themselves, or they secretly wish it, excuse me, they wish it was them. That is the reason why erotic stories and books are so popular, because they never ever get to the end where the woman gets the man that she wants, because it's constantly building up the tension through every chapter, every theme in the next chapter. She almost gets it, and then the next chapter. And the next, now you need to get the next book. Or it releases just enough tension, but not all of it. I'm giving too much away. I'm giving too much away. You thought I was just one, way. Let me say this again. It builds enough tension inside of the woman, and then it doesn't release all of it. That's the power of the erotic books or erotica books. Not the sex in it. It's the tension that it creates and how it's never released until you get the next book. Then you got to buy the next book. And that's the reason why it works so well. You got to understand how this works. If men were to understand it, who are married or relationship, you will experience a different woman. If you're unhappy with the woman that you are experiencing, check your tension. Y'all in the chat room, y'all there? Or I need to pull up and pull the screen. Let me know in the chat room, y'all there. Let me know y'all there. Let me know LDA. Let me let me know y'all there. Let me do this. While y'all figure out if y'all there, let me know while I get started. Let me get some more water. Got to be able to build that tension inside of the woman. This is the reason why certain women. Oh, I'm going to say this. Oh boy, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. This is the reason why certain women are fascinated by certain pastors, because he gives her the attention. Tension is built with the preaching. Woo-wee. I'm quiet now. Let me say that again. This is the reason why certain people like the expression of men. He's being expressive. He's expressing himself because he's building that tension inside of her. And he is what? He's expressing emotion. Attention creates amazing tension, both innocent and erotic. Ooh, come on. Now, I say that a couple times. Intentions, attention creates amazing tension, both innocent and erotic. That's the key right there. And I don't know how we can be grown and afraid to talk about this. When that tension is there, oh my, when the intention, when you are being intentional about the intention, see, when you're intentional, you already premeditated what you're going to do. So you give your undivided attention to create tension with that person. Oh my God, it takes things to the next level. Most people are afraid of it because they're afraid of a woman. And I'm gonna say this: they're afraid. Most people, and let me say, men are afraid. Oh, my thing is going on. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing over there. She's trying to say, got a message on the side. It's TikTok. So what happens is most men are a lot of people are afraid of the woman's pure sexuality or her emotions because they cannot handle it. But this is the landscape that you do to what? Tap into her tension that's there. Do you know how many women have so much tension tied up inside of them? Do you understand how many women have so much tension trapped up inside of them? They're looking for a place where the man knows how to release it. Not only how to create it, but how to release that tension that's tied up inside of them. That woman not leave you, brother, at all. Woo! Shout out to you. Thank you so much for this setup. Thank you. Salute. Just showing respect. Listening before lifting lift off. Good information, LDA. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate. Thank you for putting some respect on. I appreciate that cash, that super chat right there. That's how you put some respect on what we're talking about here. Thank you. I appreciate that. He's putting tension. He's been intentional on his attention, and now he's putting that tension on what he wants. I gotta understand how this works. Glad you're listening. So I want you to get this. That's why men, let me get back to the men. I ain't talking about to the ladies. That's why men, you need, yeah, you cannot create tension in a woman if you are emotional. Let me say that. You cannot create tension inside of a woman if you are emotional just like her. If you're matching her energy, if you're getting sassy with her, if you're getting sassy with her, you are not you're and you want to match her energy and you want to tell her off, what you're doing is you're not creating tension with her. I'm gonna give you a thing to do. When she's going off, I'm da 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 running them out. You just sit there and look at her, emotionless. You finish or you done. Grab her and kiss her and see what happens. She may not like it. I'm telling you, it will change because now you're releasing that tension that's in her. But the reason why you not winning with the women is you're just as emotional as the woman. You're just as emotional. What happens is she she's like, I can't be a woman around here because he's being emotional. He's crying. That's an immediate game changer. Correct. When he's emotional, I gotta cry. I need somebody. And he holding his he at the. I'm telling you, it's the major turn off. I'm telling you right now. Women look for you to be the rock. I want you to get what I'm about to say. I want you to hear what I'm about to say. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. Women look for you to be the rock. The rock, in many ways, she looks for you to be stable, secure ground. So that so that you can be that tension, that you can be that rock here, and that tension of her emotions can go this way and pull back to you. Ask any woman that's in here. If I'm lying, I'm flying. If I'm telling the untruth, let me know, ladies, right here. I think I have enough experience, work experience, live in field experience to know what I'm talking about. If I don't know something, I'm going to learn it. I'm able to. I'm teachable. But I have enough work experience to realize that many women, they're looking to be seduced. They're looking for a place where they can release their attention. And let me say this again: it doesn't always have to be sex. It can be a conversation with just you and her, and you stimulate her mind. Oh boy, Gina in there. A woman wants to jump in and stand in this manhood, which creates balance, so she can be the feminine, so she can be the feminine being she is. Correct. That's the tension that needs to be there. But let me say this: when the man is in this place, he becomes magnetic to women when he knows how to create that tension. And like the point I was getting at, it doesn't always have to be sex. I know everybody loves sex, you know. And y'all, let me say this: stop lying and stop tripping. Everyone loves sex. Everybody loves it. You want to be intimate. The key is the tension can be released not just in sex. It can be released in the conversation. I can say certain things. Just be very clear. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I'm going to toot it. I can say certain things to a woman that I can create such a space for a woman that she will be at ease. And what happens is it makes it bad for the next guy because he cannot, for the life of him, figure out how to create this, how to release her tension inside of her. And then equally so, I know how to create tension. Just, y'all better catch this. Equally so, I know how to create tension to the point, water, to the point where text messages are being sent, to the point where phone calls are being made, to the point outside in the daytime with a flashlight because there's so much tension. Outside in the daytime with the flashlight because there's so much tension. And she met, okay, I don't know, y'all ready for what I'm going to say. She can look through a Rolodex of all the guys that she can be with and think about, but they would never do it for her because I'm the one who created her attention. They would never release her completely because I'm the one who created the attention. Y'all not ready for this grown folks conversation. If you're not ready for grown folks conversation, please leave the room. Go get your little binky. Go get your little toddler toys. This is grown folks conversation. This is what we need to have. We need not be ashamed about having grown folks conversation, and it shouldn't be taboo. We wonder why relationships are not working. It is because we refuse to have grown folks conversation. Here I'm having a grown folks conversation about creating tension and how to release it and how to create it. And some people get upset. You shouldn't be saying that. You don't we don't know your status. You know what I say? Leave the room. This class is for you. Let's get back to this. When there's amount of tension, woo, what's going on, Tuka? Okay, after dark tension is a tension reliever. Okay, after dark tension reliever. Yeah, you got to be. This is the thing. And I'm glad you was going into. You made me think of something. Oh, that's Shalonda. I'm thinking about two people. Like, so I want you to get this too. This too. Sometimes the tension can be created with a touch. And it doesn't have to be touched in the erotic zones. Let me say that again. Sometimes the tension can be created with a touch, and it doesn't have to be the typical erotic zones that most people think to touch at. Let's be very clear. The tension can be created by a touch on the shoulder, on the hand. Most people do not know how to step back and allow the tension to build. This is the okay. Okay. I'm glad. I don't know what. Okay, thank you, John. Jono's in the thanks, Jono. That's got a chance to see the okay, I gotta figure that out once I get this off. So my audio is messing up. So let's do this. Gotta figure it out. Look funny, but I gotta figure it out. This. You guys and my sound is going in and out. Let me know I get this correctly. Get this corrected right quick. I am all about make sure you hear what I'm saying too. But yeah, let me say this. Tension can be created with just a touch. Let me pause it right quick. 1 second. If that's better, let me know in the chat room. You should be able to hear me. There we go. That should be better now. All right. All right. All right. So here we go. So the tension has to be there. I don't know why I got to look at my mics. I probably need to switch out this much better. Thank you so much. Thank you. This should be much better. I think I know what the problem was. So the tension. So the tension can happen with a touch. I'm gonna go a little further. Y'all want me to go a little further? Let me know in the chat room. I can go a little further. Tension can happen with a touch. It don't have to be in the erotic zones or in the areas that most people think they should be. The tension can happen other ways. I can go further, so I'm gonna go further since I'm there. So it also can be the tension can be built with the thought of what the touch may be like. Let me say it again. The tension can be built with the thought of what the touch may be like. The tension can be built with the thought of what the touch may be like. And so you're thinking, excuse me, how would it feel to kiss this person? How would it be how would it be if they held me? How would it be just to be next to them sitting on the beach? How would it be to be on the couch holding it? And the tension is built with the thought of the touch. Tension can also be created with connection of the eyes. Uh-oh. There you go, Gina. There you go. Very true. So tension, so it can be done with let's get this together. It can be with the touch, and it doesn't have to be the erotic zone. It can be done with the thought of the touch. And now Gina then put the other part in there. It can be done with the eyes. And that's very dangerous. I did an audio years ago about the power of the eyes. Let me talk to you with my eyes. Toot your own horn, teacher. Let me talk to you with my eyes. It's almost like a Superman effect to have on people. If you can look, and I'm gonna give an example. I gotta give an example. So network a couple years back, and I put the guy who mentors me, and we're walking down a corridor, and I catch the eye of a particular lady. Catch what I'm saying to you guys. Please catch what I'm saying to you. And I do not break eye contact. I don't stare, but I don't break eye contact. And then all of a sudden she looks back, I look back, and then the tension that Jeannie was talking about is built between us. I don't want this. He said, the eyes can utter more words than your mouth can even speak. It's very true. And so, what some women do, I notice, if I'm walking down the corridor, I'm walking down the hallway, whatever the case may be, they do like this. They make sure not to look me in the eyes. They do. They'll look down on their phone because if you catch my eyes, it's like catching. The tension between the eyes is very dangerous. It can be very dangerous. And I've done it purposely. Now it's funny. My coworker, shout out to him, Steve. He would say, "Man, I don't know what you doing, but when you caught me, they couldn't break. It's almost like they couldn't break the eye contact between. She couldn't break her eye contact with me, and then I would just smile, and then I'll break it. And sometimes that eye contact is almost like looking inside of her soul. I'm being good. I'm being good today. I'm being good. Being good. But the tension is so thick. You said truth, huh? But the eye contact is so, it's almost like, and I'm going to give an example. A mentor shared many years ago, and I always share this on the spiritual side, but I'll break it down for this side. And that is the bird in the tree and the snake on the ground. Catch what I'm about to tell you. The bird is in the tree just chirping it back. The snake is on the ground and it sees the bird. The intention of the snake is to get the bird. The bird is completely unaware of the snake. So the snake goes back and forth. So the bird goes to another branch. He's unaware of the snake. Finally, the bird and the snake catch eyes. And the bird and the snake catch his eye. The tension between them two is almost hypnotic. The bird unconsciously begins to fly in a circle, spiraling down into the bottom. You get what I'm saying? That's good. That's empowerment. Attention. Attention. Attention is when you're that focused. It's almost like the bird was hypnotically or intoxicated with the focus of the eyes, their eyes locking, and flew right into the mouth of the bird. And you understand that story, the tension that was there between how powerful that is, the tension that was there with the eye contact. I will go a little further, but I'm not going to go any further with that. Some men you men and women need to know how to talk without saying any words with your eyes. My aunt used to get on me years ago, said, I see the pictures that you're posting on my particular Aunt Joan. Yeah, I see the pictures that you're posting on Facebook and Instagram. I said, what do you talk about, Auntie? I don't call her Auntie, but Aunt Joan. So your eyes are saying a lot. Sometimes you can create the tension with your eyes and tell the woman that if you get in my space, you will be. Let me say that again because y'all quiet in the chat room. You can have you even on the picture, you can look a certain way to let a woman know that if you in my space, you will be mine. And will be nothing that you will be able to do. And secretly, women want that kind of tension between a man. Most men are like looking, what do I do next? Or what do I go next? Or what do I do? What do I do, buddy? Because they don't know how to power their eyes, how to be focused in the glare. But you let her know I am nothing to play with. I will chew you up and spit you out and send you right now. Tension all taking place inside of your imagination. All being spoken without being spoken. With eyes. Do you understand the power of the tension between the man and the woman with just the eyes without saying words? And don't get me word, I done seen some women do it to me. This one woman did that to me. I was I'm almost I'm walking in circles. She looked at me and she glared and then she looked away and then she looked back at me. I, I started stuttering. I started, hey, wait a minute. Who, who, who is that? And then she walked away. I kid you not. She stirred up enough tension inside of me. I wanted to figure out who she was. And she didn't say a single word. She said all those things with her eyes. Many times we miss the signals of tension that's being built between you and the individual because you're not paying attention to their eyes and their body language. That woman, when she did that, I remember her. I looked at her and I almost got chills. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Who is that? It was not her body. It was not her hair. It was not her this and that. It was the look that she gave me that caused immediately tension inside of me, causing me to say, "Oh, let me move, put me, ooh, 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 ooh." I got to know her. I get to talk to her. She may the talking might mess it up. Like, ah, that's all right. That was, or she may be cussing like a sailor, and I'm like, ah, you know, okay. But initially, when she did that, baby, she had LDA. She had me on the ropes like Ali. Because she knew how to build that tension inside of a man. So I'm here to tell you, when creating the right tension has to take place. You do not want to become neutral with the person that you with, where you're neutral and she's neutral, or he's neutral and you're neutral. What happened there's no tension between you. There's no, ooh, I gotta have you. Ooh, I want you. Because you're like, that's just Brenda. Oh, that's just Tyrone. Oh my God. Blah 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 blah. And you look for attention outside of you look for attention outside of your relationship and outside of your marriage, and you look for someone to create that. And think about it: when the side chick, she creates that tension inside of that man. You know what I'm talking about? The side dude creates the tension inside of that woman. She got to go home now. Hey, how's everything going? Oh, everything's fine. All right. What you want for dinner? Got that tension of the side dude that's in our ears, in our thoughts. He has the he has the tension of the side chick in his thoughts. Ask me how I know because I've been there. Tension has to. So what happens is that side dude or that side chick, She creates that excitement back inside that you've been. Even men, let me get this together for the men. Even you men, as much as you want to be, I'm a man. I don't nothing bother me. You still want that excitement and thrill of the chase. Uh oh. Uh oh. Did I say that? The man still wants the thrill of the chase. Some of y'all women have become too easy, and you ain't got into a relationship, and you got that old tired robe that you have on, and them old burnt out house 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 shoes, and you forgot how to be sexy, and you not giving him nothing to chase. You forgot to get your hair done, nails ain't done. Get up in the morning, breath smelling like hot, yeah, because you're not created that chase inside of it. His chase has been quenched, and now you don't have that. He has nothing to chase after. He need to be chasing after his purpose. He need to make sure and things like that. But that chase of you, so you have not created that tension there. And equally so, you have not been creating that chase inside of the woman. She's married to you or wherever the case may be, or relationship. She thinks she has you. Let me say this for the record, for y'all, for those who don't know what I'm talking about. Women love the chase too. They love the challenge and the chase too. Let me say that again. Women love the chase and the challenge too. It's the thrill of getting something that, or it's the thrill of getting something that may not belong to them, but it's the thrill of knowing, oh, okay, I may can get him. I may entertain a little bit, but I'm gonna back up. Women love the chase and the challenge too. What happened is some of you men are just too easy. Let me say that again. Some of you men are just too easy. And what happens is, once the chase is gone, the thrill is gone, and you're gone. Some of you men are just too easy because you're so eager to lead by your lower nature that you're not giving her nothing to work for and to challenge and build that tension inside of her because you're too easy. You're too easy. You're too easy. See, I watched the numbers went down when I said that. Oh, I'm talking about LDA. You're too easy. Women want to work for it. You only appreciate something that you work to get. That's real talk. Thank you, RJ. You only appreciate something that you work to get. Women want to, much as women may not say it, she would appreciate you more if you were not so easy. She know all she got to do is send a shot, or she got to say something special, and that's it. That's the key. She knows that you're too easy. All she got to do is show you that. All she got to do is show you a little bit of this. You. I'll send you roses and full of roses. You singing love songs. You writing love letters. All because you were too easy. The women that the men that women go crazy about are the ones that are not so relatively attainable. They're not attainable. Ask any woman in this chat room who go back and listen to this. It's the men that they almost had and couldn't have that they always think about. Thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate that, brother. humble in the work. Dang, some of you guys are just too easy. So guess what? You don't create that tension inside of the woman. I actually appreciate that humble introvert. Too easy. She has nothing that she has worked for. And then she doesn't respect you. And then you're never going to release the amount of tension that you think you should have with her because you're so easy. It's a song back in the 80s, I think it's 80s. You're an easy lover. Some of you are just too easy. Too easy. The woman wants something that's within reach, but they can't. Why do you think they want the purses that there's a little pricey, but they got it? Now this is the thing. I'm glad you said it because we're talking about tension. Women shouldn't chase men, and men shouldn't chase women. Let me say that again. That's a good point. Women shouldn't chase men, and men should not chase women. If she don't want you, leave her where she is. If he don't want you, leave her where it is. But my point and what I'm saying in the context of what I'm saying is this: the woman wants a challenge, and she doesn't want a man that's easy. No woman wants a man that's easy. It doesn't create the tension inside of her. It doesn't build that I gotta have him. So it's a difference between chase, challenge, and what was the other word? Chase, challenge, and some shit you got to work for, or being easy. See, this is the thing we have inside of our society. And this is not towards you, Shalonda, but this is just a society thing. See, women are so used to being catered to that they're not used to working for what they have or something that's given to them. A woman wants a man that can be looked up to and respected. The one is one of the biggest turns for us. Yep. One who is not easy. One who is not easy. She, y'all can. I'm not saying y'all don't want an easy lover. Once a man had who pulls who's a little bit of a handful, it creates the tension inside of her. Remember, I said earlier about the bad boy creates a tension inside of him because he's a challenge for her. It stirs up emotion inside of her, but she doesn't. I want to be very clear on. I want to be very clear on what I'm saying. She wants the one who creates the tension inside of her. That's a challenge. The reason why work is so fun, why the work husband can do that, or not the work husband, because it offers her a challenge, something that she works for. Oh, bingo! Thank you, Gina. I about to say thank you, Jesus, but thank you, Gina. We do enjoy a man that's a bit of a mystery. Correct. Because if you figured everything out about a man, you would get bored. If you figured everything out about a man, you will get bored. And therefore, there's no tension, there's no emotion invested in it, and you cannot like boring. Oh, I know he gets up in the morning, he does this, wash his face, he go to the bathroom. He does at 10 o'clock, he's at work, 7 o'clock, at 10, 12:30, he takes a break, and at this time of it, it's boring. But the mystery, man, the man that's a challenge to figure out. She can't just put her finger on. He's not like every other guy. It does something to her. It creates tension it stirs up her emotions. It makes her mind wonder, what is he doing? What is he doing? What is he at? What's going on with him? Because of the tension that's there. Do you think a woman's thirsty if she makes the woman? No. This is I'm glad you asked that question. Do you think a woman is thirsty if she makes the first move? No. Let me help some of y'all women. Y'all will be single and alone and with Kevin, you'll be with your dog. I wish I had the dog sound because you didn't make the first move. Because you're so worried about not you, but so many women are so worried about being thirsty or looking, I don't know. Let me help you ladies. You're either being by yourself, single with the dog, because you refuse to go out there because you're afraid of appearing thirsty. I don't want to appear thirsty. I don't want to feel like that I'm just desperate. Baby, if you like the man, let him know. Let him know. And a lot of women are still be afraid of. Okay, I'm glad you and Shalonda and you and Gina, y'all on the road tonight. Thank you so much. And a lot of women are afraid of being rejected. Let me help you out too. Do you think men do think the same thing? They don't want to appear thirsty by approaching women. Do you think men are afraid of being rejected? Because y'all can say no real nicely. Ooh, you cute, but right now I'm just gonna spend some time in prayer and think about God. Rejected him. Ooh, I was, I'm not really hungry anymore. I'm going to go see my mother. She in the hospital. Cleverly, y'all are the queens, not you particularly, of knowing how to reject a man. You don't say I'm spending time praying. Oh, I'm no. You don't say I'm just spending time praying and seeking the Lord's face. You rejected that man. So as much as men have to bristle up and say they have to bristle up about creating tension. Men are men don't want to deal with rejection. Guess what? Men go out there anyway in the face of rejection, and they go out there. Hey, what's your name? How you doing? I like your fingernail polish. He has to deal with rejection too. But on the same flip side, he is. Let me get to Shalana's part of. Do you think a woman is thirsty when she makes her first move? She's only thirsty in the way that she does makes the first move. I'll give him some good game. She's only thirsty in the way that she does the first move. There's a way that a woman can make a first move that will be amazing. I had some first moves on me. It's all in the way that she does the first move. I know it seems unconventional. My mama never did that. You don't know what your mama was doing back then. My granny never did that. You don't know what your granny was doing back then. Do you think it's thirsty if a woman if she makes the first move? It's all in the way that she does the first move. If women were to tap into their femininity, she can make the first move. Let me be very clear. She can make the first move and make it think as it was his move all along. Y'all ain't ready for me. Never thought a man would be afraid of being rejected. Yeah, men are afraid of being rejected too. Let me get back to the thirsty part. So it's all in the way a woman comes off because some women do come off thirsty, and the men will be like, but it's a way a woman can come off in such a way where she's almost like the example game of the bird and the snake. She's hypnotized. She's caught him in, and she don't even know why. Can I get your number? And you already made the first move. Women have lost the art on how to seduce men. Therefore, they don't know how to create the tension with the men. Let me say that again. Women have forgot how the art on how to seduce a man, so they don't want to appear thirsty, and therefore they think just by showing up and being a woman, that's all they have to do. We have a society, not no one here. We have a society of women who are lazy when it comes to seduction. They want to be seduced, but they don't know how to seduce. Some of them do at the right time, but we have an over majority of it. They do not know how to seduce, and therefore they know how to create the tension to pull that man towards them and make him think that it was his thought all alone why they together, while she already plotted how to do that. You know how women do. Let me be very clear. She might see a man on Monday and realize on Tuesday she see him again, but she don't say nothing. He goes to the same spot. She'll see him on Wednesday. He goes to the same spot at the same time every day. Somehow on Thursday, she happens to walk past him because she knows he's at the same spot every day at the same time. She knows how to cross his path and, oh my, how are you doing, Mr. Jones? How can I help you? All the time he thinks he's running to Mr. Jones, while she's been seeing that Mr. Jones for the past 3 days have been walking past this certain area all the time. Is she thirsty or is she intentional about getting something that she wants? You let me know in the chat room. Is she thirsty or is she intentional? Women, you know how to do that. Don't y'all play with me tonight. I am God. Don't you play with me. Don't you dare play with me tonight. You know how to just comment on certain posts. Let your presence be known and then you walk away. What happens is so many women are afraid and battling imaginary women folks who are telling them that if they do this, that they're thirsty. You can be single all you want the rest of your life if you don't make the first move. Sometimes men are just unaware that you're even there because they got so much other things in their mind. But if you create women, how to create be in the right space at the right time, and let it be known. And you got to be okay if he says, you know what, I think you're pretty, I think you're nice, but right now I can't do this. You got to be okay with rejection. And that's something that's hard for women to do because we have so gassed women's head that every man wants them because they got something in between their legs. Let me say that again. We have so gassed women's heads out because what they got between their legs, they think that every man wants them. And every man don't want what's between your legs. He wants what's between your ears. He wants what's in your mind. Every man don't want what's in between your legs. And if all you offer is what's between your legs, don't be surprised with the outcome of what you get. And this may be too rough for y'all. Let me stop. Y'all may not. Y'all may let me. Y'all, if this too much. Let me stop because this might be too much of a grown folks conversation about being thirsty and about creating that tension. But yes, women. Why wouldn't you make your move? Women do it all the time. All the time. And then this the thing. See, when women say, "Do you think it's thirsty?" A woman to make the first move, we're thinking that the woman is going to be direct when she does it. Now, they need to hold back. This information is needed. Okay. So many times when a woman thinks that she's being thirsty, she thinks she has to be direct like a man. Thank you. See, they're going to be an aggressive. No, 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 no. I'm glad you're bringing this up. I'm so glad you're saying. Thank you, ladies. No, aggressive. See, you think like a man. There's a way a woman can make the first move and be very feminine. Let me say. Let me help you out. Let me help the ladies out. Let me hold up. I gotta stretch 1 second. There's a way that the Women don't have to be aggressive. Like, come here, man. You gonna be mine. I'm not talking about you being Shira and you just taking a man. No, there's a way that you can be super feminine in what you're doing. I mean, super feminine and make the first move. Let me say that again. There is a way that you can be super feminine and make the first move and say, "Hey, I see you." Aggressive is like, "Come here, boy. You mine." You doing like, I'll give you a classic example. The color purple with Oprah Winfrey's character. Purple? Who's her? Who's that girl? Aggressive. He was out in the he was out in the cornfields and she came and dragged him. Aggressive. And how was the other lady? Papa, who's that girl? She was feminine. What happens is if you know how to do it correctly, you can be very feminine and make the first move. I watched a woman, I don't know, can I say this? Can I say this? I watched a woman years ago do that to me at church. She did that at church. She did that thing. Yep, she sure did. She was not aggressive. She was not thirsty, but she let it be known that she was very interested. Do y'all want to hear the story or do you not want to hear the story? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat when you want to hear the story, you want to not hear the story. You want to hear the story? Let me tell it, 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 tell it. So we went to this particular church many years ago, and the young lady, I can't share what she did, so that would give it away. She was there. She was there, and she would sit on one side of the church. He said, "Tell it." I didn't know you was here, Joe Biden. You in the clouds, man. I appreciate. Don't tease us, tell us. So she was sit on one side of the church every Sunday. I would see her. I didn't realize she even knows I was there. And then I noticed one Sunday I sit at normally in the same spot, and um, I was sitting on the aisle seat, and she happened to sit across the aisle on the aisle seat. And then when I stood up, she stood up because you know you had to stand up for certain parts of the service in the church. And then you got to go over there. Go tell your neighbor this. With the greetings and things like that, or go hold your hands and pray with them. It is interesting. So one Sunday, I've noticed this going on. Very attractive, very docile, very beautiful woman. I was talking to someone. I'm changing the story to protect it because I'm changing the story. And I think she had enough because I just was not paying attention to her, or I seen her, but I just wasn't making a move. And so I was talking to someone who was in the conversation, and she just made a beeline to me. It's like she wasn't aggressive. You talking to me? She said, "How you doing? How you doing?" And I heard you do that, blah blah blah. I said, "Yeah, I do this particular thing." "Oh, I'm just asking." So she opened up the door to have the conversation happen and let me know, "Oh, I've been watching you, old boy, at church every Sunday. You fly, and I want to let you know I see you, and I'm going to make my move and let you know, hey, how you doing?" Now, sometimes it can throw if you're not paying attention, guys. You're like, "Oh, this just happened." Okay, whatever the case may be. But she wasn't aggressive, and I'm looking at her. She's a very, very attractive young lady. Very attractive. Well, for the men, she was well built. She had the kadonk. She had She had the move. She had the, what? She had everything. But at the same token, and then what I looked at too, how she did it. She was just real smooth with it. She came. She looked me in the face. "How you doing?" And she smiled. Uh oh. Did I say that? She smiled. And the smile pulled down my defensive mechanism, like, why you coming up on me like this? And she smiled and she said, how you doing? Do you do this particular type of work? I said, I do that particular work, I do this. And guess what happened? I'm not going to tell you what happened after that. I can't tell you everything. Can't tell you everything. But I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you. She did she was very, like I keep saying, she's very attractive. I haven't seen her in I don't go to that particular church, but I haven't seen her in such a long time. But that's when a woman was. She wasn't aggressive. She was very familiar with what she was doing. And she broke down the defense mechanism with a smile. Just a smile. You understand how important it is, ladies? Just your smile. If you have the resting face, how that's a turn up to men. It doesn't create that tension that's there. He almost want to knuckle up, but you got that resting. You know what face I'm talking. You know the rest of the word is buttercup face. And I'm not using buttercup. You know what word I want to use. Sometimes you can disarm a man and not seem aggressive if you just smile and begin, as Gina talked about, talk with just your eyes. Know how to sashay. I'm telling you, some of y'all are afraid to smile. I don't know. I don't know where y'all got the memo is, but is do not smile at people. Do not smile at men. I understand that some men will look at it as a. I know some men will look at it as an invite and you want to talk to them, but just to smile like a warm smile. How you doing? I had a woman. I was eating lunch today on the west side of Cleveland, sitting outside, and an Indian woman walked past, and I looked at her, caught her eyes, and she just smiled, and I smiled back. That right there, I wasn't trying to get on, and she wasn't trying to get on. I was trying to enjoy my food. But it's the point that she smiled. Some of you, the reason why it's perceived that you being aggressive or perceived that you being thirsty is because you have that resting bee face. You know what word I want to use. And then you creating the wrong kind of tension with the man where he don't want to be bothered with you. Salute, brother. Good to see you here. You got to realize the importance of some of you women are losing out because you don't smile. Kevin talked about that, but I'm going to talk about it too. Shout out to Kevin Thomas. Some of you, so you don't smile. I'm not talking about smile like you giggle, you just giggling, looking like a clown, but just a smile, a warm smile says so much. It can warm a man's heart, especially if you're interested in him. And I can always tell when a woman is interested. I shouldn't give this stuff away. I'm talking too much. Where I'm at, I'm in an hour 38 minutes. She's smiling, and she's in her femininity. So no, it's not thirsty if a woman goes up and do that. No thanks to the rest. Thank you for saying it, Joe Blast, my dog. I'm telling you, it's the major turnoff. It happens in church. It can happen at the mosque. It can happen at the temple. It can happen anywhere because you got the resting. You know what face? Leave me alone. It's the leave me alone. Don't bother me. But secretly, you want to be bothered. Men are not cannot read no signals. Here you got the resting B face, but you want to be with somebody. Please make it make sense to me. Creating the tension that's there. See what happens is when you have the rest and be face, you create the wrong tension in the men that you want to be. Some men you may need to put the rest and be face on, but the men that you're interested in, you can't be like have the stank face on. Maybe I should teach a class on that. The women how see this the thing we think it's funny It's funny that we want men, we want things to be traditional when it serves us, but non-traditional when it's not for us. Let me say that again. We want things to be traditional when it serves us, non-traditional. We want things non-traditional. We mix it up. Oh, a man should he should. She'll be back now. So let me say what I was saying again when it's out before. Sometimes you got to realize grandma, why you think grandma was this, y'all hold grandma up to so high. You got to remember grandma was young one time too. What she knew how to do, she what she did to let no man know it was she was interested. She had to cook something for him that he liked to eat, not what you think you like. He liked to eat. Let me say that again. Y'all missed that. So no, it's not aggressive unless you're coming aggressive at a man. But then, since we're talking grown folks, there's some men who like a woman who's aggressive with them. Uh oh, I shouldn't have said that, Joe Blast. There's some women who like men who are aggressive with them. I'm telling too much tonight. I'm giving away too much. Giving away too much tonight. I'm giving away too much. Can't hear me? You should be able to hear me now. You should be able to hear me loud and clear. I wait for it to catch up. Y'all should be able to hear me. It's gonna take a minute because it's a time delay. Grandma knew what she was doing. She came when she made sure her dress was pressed. Grandma came when her dress was pressed. Her hair was done. Mm. She made sure she smelled good. She had a little basket. She fried some chicken and she had some little biscuits that she had made out. Grandma knew what she was doing. She wasn't aggressive. She came where he might have been working at, and I was just thinking about you, Joe. Oh, you were. Grandma knew what she was doing. Y'all better learn. Y'all talking about y'all want to learn from grandma, but this the 2000s LDA. It ain't like that now. These men are different. These women are different. Grandma, y'all better listen to what grandma did. She rolled them biscuits out. It's all about the art of flirting. That's right. Grandma had a little basket, with the, she came, had a little basket. And she was, hey, Joe, how you doing? Did you eat lunch today? I didn't eat lunch today. What you got in there? Then she got to sit down and she got to watch him eat the food that she prepared. Got to eat the food that he prepared and got to have conversation with him. Then when break was over, she left. What did it do? It created tension. He's thinking about the good food that he ate. He's thinking about the conversation that wasn't arguing, wasn't going back and forth. It wasn't talking about world politics. It wasn't talking about Bitcoin. It wasn't talking about what Carly B was doing. They just sat there and had conversation. And she listened to him. She cooked them rolls. You know what I'm talking about. She cooked them rolls. And she just listened to him. And let me repeat that for the women in the back of the class. And she just listened to him. And she just listened to him as he talked about his day and what happened. I was in the coal mine and one guy almost got ran over by the train and this happened and Billy Boy over there. Yeah, I know Billy Boy. Yeah, he did this. And she just listened to him. And she just sat back and listened. She became a listening ear for him to she wasn't being aggressive. She was being strategic in what she was doing. She was feeding old Joe. She made them rolls and them fresh fried chicken. And she made sure she brought some lemonade to quench his throat. Throat. Quench his thirst. I'm got me saying. And then when he was done eating, she took it back. And she had her dress that was pressed. She had that dress that was pressed out. You know that dress. You know, grandma, how that dress on it was just pressed out. Her hair was combed and done. And she just, okay, Joe, see you later. And she knew not to come back the next day. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She knew not to come back the next day. She might have did that on Monday, but she didn't come on Tuesday. What do you think? Old Joe was doing? He was sitting on the side of on the log outside the pit, thinking about where is the ant? She created a tension between them. She knew how the art of flirting, the art of the being knowing what she wanted to get. She could have made chicken for any man. She could have had rolls for any man. She could have listened to any man was down there. But she knew what man she knew what man she wanted. She didn't come back the next day. She might have skipped a day. Then she showed back on up on Wednesday. Hey Joe, what happened to you? I was looking for he didn't spill the beans. I was looking for you yesterday. Oh, you were, Joe? Oh, I got busy and tied up with helping my mother out and everything that was going on. And guess what happened? What you doing on Saturday night? You know they're having something down at the over at the barn. Would you like to go? Oh, Joe, I don't know. I really don't have nothing to wear. Knowing that she had something to wear, that's what happened. They ain't had you and your mama and all them. Because your mother, your grandmama was strategic in what she was doing. Some of y'all women ain't strategic in what you're doing in the men that you want. And you got to be careful. If you get rejected, go on to the next. It is a different time, LDA. It's a different set of women. It's a different set of men. I know some women who do that. So I am thoroughly enjoying this. Why are you enjoying this, Gina? Please tell. Do tell. Do share the glass. Be strategic and intentional, ladies. Come on. Yeah. She wasn't being aggressive. And she was okay if Joe were to rejected her. I'm telling you, she created the right amount of tension. Some of y'all don't know how to create it. And think about it. Did Grandma Brenda open up her legs? No. Did Grandma? Did Grandma? Did Grandma open up her legs? No, she did not. She went right on and created that tension. So when it was time, it was right on time. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm trying to help you out, ladies, how to create that tension. How to create that tension, how to be intentional on what you're doing. Yes, 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 yes. Same thing with men. It's a way to do this. Some of y'all just rough and tough with y'all with your Tims and everything. You gotta know how to be smooth to get these women. I'm not gonna tell you all my stories. I can hear all my stories, me telling everything I did. I ain't gonna tell you everything. I did some things. Very intentional. Some of the stuff I did is very next level things. But I'm here to tell you, it created the tension that was needed so that they can so that rhythm can be there. Some of you, because there's no tension there, because you're out of rhythm with the person that you're with, you're out of rhythm with. Taking mental notes. Good, 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 good. This is good. Be strategic, ladies. Yes, yes. I'm glad you guys are getting it. Thank you guys for the thank you for the two gentlemen who gave the super chats for this teaching that we give. This is LDA After Dark, grown folks conversation, where there is very, very, very different from the teaching that we have during the daytime. Very different from the teaching in the daytime. I want you to really, really to absorb what I'm saying. I want you to get. I want this to stick on you, where you're thinking about what I'm doing, and you're intentional about doing it. I'm glad you asked that question. Is it thirsty for women to go after men? Y'all, some of y'all gonna be. I'm gonna say it. Some of you women, y'all keep waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. You're at home waiting and waiting and waiting, waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. You keep waiting. You wonder why no man of you. And no, let it be known that you're interested. Because it's the way you do it. That's the thing that a lot of women have not been taught, and a lot of men have not been taught. That's where game comes in. As much as people are fighting me on teaching game, this is where the game comes in. You got to be strategic on how you do it, how you move. Y'all better stop listening to me. I'm a little side note. Stop listening to people who ain't live nothing to try to give you game. They in their mama's basement trying to give you game. They want to argue back and forth with women to try to give you game. I got to get that off my chest. Real game or real tension that you build between each other is ah, is very, 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 it's very interesting. It's very seductive. It almost, and wow, I'm going to say this. If the tension is right there between you and her, it can become intoxicating. Let me say that again. If the tension is right between her and you, it can become intoxicating. I mean, intoxicating. It becomes so. You become your emotions. Women become so enthralled by this that it's intoxicating. Absolutely. So why are we single? Oh, so why? So is this is why we're single? The reason why some women are single. I'm not saying all. Now you're gonna make me get into my spiritual side, and I'm gonna keep it 100 grown folks conversation. A lot of reason why people are single, either by choice or by unconscious choice, or they're in the single mindedness and think they're ready for a relationship, but they're not. Sometimes you can want something so bad that you push it away from you. Let me say that again. It goes in the back of the class. Sometimes you can want something so much that you actually push it away from you. What's going on, Asia? Sometimes you can want something so much that you push it away from you. That keeps you completely single. I want this man. I want this woman. I want this. And your wants is constantly keeping you away from what you really desire. You're in a state of want. If I can push you out of the of wanting to be with someone, I can push you out of the state of wanting to be married. I can push you out of the state of wanting to have sex. If I can get you out of the state of wanting into the place of having, sometimes the reason why you don't have a relationship that you want is because you have never become comfortable in your singleness. So you're always in the state of want of someone and not in a place of peace or oneness with your singleness. Singleness is not bad. Singleness can you look at correctly that you're single minded, you're single focused, and so you're no longer in the place of want. Some of you guys want so much, you want this and want that you're running everything away from you that you really desire. You desire a man, I desire this, I desire a good relationship, and your desires are just driving you crazy. Sometimes you gotta just breathe and be like, I'll let it all go. Not a case of whatever would happen, but a case of that or something better. Catch what I just said. This or something better. Sometimes you're so focused on a particular person that you miss out on the person that can be right for you. Sometimes you're so focused on a particular person that you miss out that it could be the person that is just right for you. But you're blinded because all you can think about is this particular person. Not seeing that it could be someone who can touch your toe, touch your soul, and tickle your toes. Let me say that again. And touch your soul and tickle your toes. Let me say that again. Some of you are missing out on someone who can touch your soul and tickle your toes. And I know you want your toes to curl. So you single because it's a choice. You're single because you're in the single mindset. And I know the things that we're gonna say. Well, I just don't want to go with just anybody. I don't want to settle. I got my standards. I gotta do what I want. I gotta do. Understand all of that. But some of y'all standards are so high that you can't even keep. And two, standards that you have are not realistic of where you are at. You can 100 buck 1%. You have standards from when you were 20, when you were 19-year old, when you are 55 years old. Your standards should be completely different. You have standards from when you still have the same standards of when you were 19 years old, when you are 55 years old. Baby girl, baby boy, your standards should be completely different. You should have a realistic picture of who you are and what you're at. Because you're not the same you were at 19, maybe you at 55 or whatever age that you have, you got to put, all right, let me be realistic. Let me calm down. I'm saying I want all this and that. Wait a minute. What is the other person looking for too? I'm just keeping it 100 with you. We can pretend all we want on here. I'm not here to pretend. I'm here to have a grown folks conversation. Some of your life choices, some of your life choices that you have made, good, bad, or indifferent, affects your standard. Some of the life choices that you made, and some of the things that you've done, some of the things that you said, and some of the people that you've been with, affects your standard. 19 ver- 19 19 the 19 version of you is not the same as the 55 version of you. Let's be very clear. Sometimes you're in the reason why some may be single because they're in that fantasy land of night that they think they're still 19 and everything about them ain't 19. Everything about them ain't 19. Let's be very clear. Shake yourself. Come out of the fantasy world. Come out of Disney world. It's a small world after all. Mickey Mouse. Come on out of it. Come on out of it. That's why it's interesting when I watch older people. I watch older people who get married. When I watch them, I realize they ain't got time to be playing around with you. Got some things that they expect, but they're realistic about where they're at. When I watch older people, and I've talked to some older people who got married later in life or been married earlier in life and then they got married later in life. They got some real, they're like, you know what? No, 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 no. Some of the things that just on your standards that you think matter does not matter anymore. And I'm here to I'm gonna keep it 100. Some of the things that are on women's list are just unrealistic, plain and simple. Some of the things that are on women's lists are unrealistic for your age, baby. Unrealistic. What are you talking about? Y'all, you want me to keep it real? Or you want me to just give you the fake? Some things that are unrealistic, really. It's unrealistic. I'm watching on different chats and different streams and different comments. Now look, what I go do is I go back and look at I just me because I'm a man. I'm gonna go back and look at the picture. I'm like, ooh, baby girl, unrealistic. Don't line up. But no one's told you that it's unrealistic what you asking for. I watched someone who gave me their list. I was like, oh really? Oh, okay. Ooh, boy, baby, you ain't there anymore. Some single folks are in the place where they need to let go of the past disappointments, do what's necessary to heal, and then move forward with a clean slate. Sometimes a change of focus is needed. And all that time, what's for you will present itself. It will present itself when you get into the proper position that you are what you want. You're right. So I'm just here to just keep it 100. I watched some of the unrealistic. I'm gonna just keep it real. We'll keep it 100. Some of the unrealistic expectations of some women are just astonishing to me, and some of the men too. It's astonishing, bruh. Wake up. What? What? You want what? And you live in where? You in your mama's basement? Where? Oh, okay. And you want me to help you do what? And you want her to move in the basement of your mama house? I know of a situation when a person did do that. They end up getting married. He was in love with each other. They were so in love. I love you. He love you. And you love me. And guess what happened? They ended up getting together. He ended up moving her in his mama's basement. So let alone she didn't have her own place to call her own. But he moved her into her mama's basement. I'm here to tell you, real quick, he figured out that he needed to get his own place, whatever the case may be, because he couldn't have the two women in the house. Because the mama was figuring that's her house and she can do what she want to do, and the wife at the time, she wanted her space to figure out this is what I wanted to do, and the two of them did not mesh. They became at odds. The moment they moved out and he got his own place with his wife, the wife and the mother got along. Real talk, real conversation. I know things happen and situations happens, but it just real situation happens. But back to and guess what happened? That created negative tension between the man and the woman. You think they had good sex? No. Did you think they got to be quiet because they're in their mama's basement? Yes. Why? Because they were in what? Wrong space. Expectations were not there. At this age, my expectations are completely different than where when I was 19 or when I was married. Nothing wrong with the person I married at all. Nothing wrong with her. But my expectations of where I am now is completely different. And I'm seeing this from the gift this lady. I'm trying to smack you out of this unrealistic fairy tale of what you see on Housewives of Atlanta, what you see on this show, what you see on that. That's all scripted. Or what you see this person going through, all scripted. Telling you right now, you do not, you serious about this. This is what I'm about to say. If you're serious about this, you do not want to be alone. Do not want to be alone. Talking to men and women. If you do not want to be alone, you need to make the necessary changes in your life so that you're presentable for someone to be your wife. This is Lawrence D. Adams, or LDA After Dark. Thank you so much for the brothers for sewing today, giving some good game, put some respect on what I'm talking about tonight. We've done 2 hours tonight. Thank you for listening. Thank you for participating. If you got something from this, share, like, comment. I am about to call it a night. See you next week, 10:30, same station. If you listen, like, subscribe, and I'm out.
Hoping, melting in our make-believe new worlds. Whispering winds bring the remembrance that you're my girl. No shame, no games. I wanna fall in love, fall in love. I'll be your savage, I'll be your baddest. Or do you like sweet caramel honey dipped? I'm yours till the beat flips. Don't let it slip. Give up my power. Yes, afraid to lose each other. Counting the hours till I see you again. Could you be life, lover, and best friend? Waiting for text back. Wondering where you at. Or who could you be with? No, I'm not at what you got, man. Tell me what you want, babe, and you'll get it. Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it. Tell me what you want, babe, and you'll get it. Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it. Tell me what you want, babe, and you'll get it. Look at what you got, man. Don't forget it, 'cause I can give you what you need. I'll be your fantasy, I got you. Tell me what you want, babe, then come get